Hey, it's Boris Moyston here, co-founder of Black Men Talk Tech with Chisa Egbelu.
Correct, Chisa Egbelu.
Chisa Egbelu from PEDUL. Chisa is the winner of the inaugural Black Men Talk Tech Unicorn Ambition Conference pitch event.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations
Appreciate
again,
it.
right?
Thank you so much.
Congrats on that. Let's talk about why Black Men Talk Tech for you.
Yeah, I mean, right at the start of us hearing about the conference existing, I don't know how y'all were getting it. I might have read about it in the plug or something.
Yeah.
Y'all were pushing it, and just hearing it existed, it obviously intrigued my mind.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was because we knew we were going to go down there and we were going to receive a melding of the minds, right? Like-minded individuals from across the country that are going through similar things as you, all coming together to not just discuss it, but to share resources, right? It's like a potluck. It's like everyone brings something to the table.
Right.
And when you do that, you encourage and you strengthen the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And we knew the ecosystem was going to be heading in a strong direction. We just want to make sure we were going to be a part of it.
Dude, we had people calling us up from as far as Seattle saying, this is the farthest point from Miami in the country, and we're flying across country right now.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be there because we've only been in room where there's only one or two of us.
Oh, yeah.
So to get together,
If
to
you're
learn,
lucky.
yeah, if you're lucky. So to learn about what everyone experience has been like, to even talk about who some of the founder-friendly investors are, indeed people of color, like founder-friendly, like investors as well, or investors that are founder-friendly to people of color, entrepreneurs of color, was something else people wanted to sit down and talk about. And then not to mention like how everyone has been kicking ass despite like what everyone may think about, your company and the difficulty of the environment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. And even touch on that, we talk about the investors that are founder friendly, but we even also highlight those that are not. And sometimes that's just as, if not more important.
Yes. So if I want to get together with a bunch of founders, I'm like, all right, who should I stay away from?
And you'll be shocked because it'll be the exact names that everyone else will be saying, like, yeah, you got to go to this guy.
Yeah.
And this guy will ruin your company.
Yeah.
And we put that pretty much out there too. I like that.
So we have to build, let's build a platform around us. So that's a to-do for us,
Gotcha.
right? Building a platform around sharing who our investors are. And then, so let's talk about, we had a conversation. I spoke to a lot of founders before they showed up about preparing for the pitch event and even like having real talk with you that maybe you shouldn't, I don't know if you want to spend the money to fly down there because you may fly down there and not be able to pitch, but at least there's a lot to have in the ecosystem, in meeting other people. It's a lot of value there. But one of the values for a lot of the top founders like yourself is you want to compete and you want to pitch.
For sure.
We had, near 24 applicants. We only had 3 weeks to market it. 24 applicants, like, we're only going to have 5 people pitch. Turned out it was 8 because the pool was so nice. But you came anyway. Yeah. And you remember what I told you about, like, you really may not pitch, so, you really think it through.
You're like, yeah, y'all kind of trash. Y'all probably not going.
I did not say that. I said, listen, it's a hot company, but you got guys who are Y Combinator alums. You got guys who've raised millions of dollars. You're a David in a field of Goliaths. That's exactly what I said. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not trying to be a dream slayer. Like, who am I to do that, right? You could probably crush me in a pitch. But I was like, anyone could win.
Completely.
We're gonna have great judges. Just go there and bring game.
Yeah.
And game knows game. You brought game, and here we are now. Right?
I mean, I think big part of the entrepreneurial journey, any entrepreneur is gonna think that they have a chance to win, right? Like,
dude, let me tell you, man. I had guys who are like cursing me out now and blocking me because like they signed up to come and like they didn't get selected to pitch. They knew the risk going in, but then they tried to negotiate on the back end. How do you make me pay? And how do I got it through?
Funny.
And like, but you knew that going in.
Come on, I did all the same thing.
All right, so
I did all the same thing.
I just wanted to put that out there. So just beware. Like maybe we'll change this for next year, but there's a risk that you show up and you don't get invited to the final. But either case, maybe we'll have multiple rounds, right? So I think that's another way to improve it. maybe on day one we could do a first round. So thanks again. Thanks for talking about this. Let's talk about your company, PEDUL.
Yeah.
How has life been post Black Men Talk Tech? Let's talk about that first, and then let's get into the business.
It's pretty good, man. It's been really good. Since Black Men Talk Tech, we won 2 other pitch competitions as well. So it's been great. Our investor pipeline has definitely quadrupled. Right? There's no doubt about that.
Kingmakers.
Yeah, and I told you some of the individuals that are coming to this round now, right? With the due diligence written.
Yes.
And
let's not name them until after the fact.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's make sure
I want
the
to
deal's
have
closed.
money in the bank, and then we'll talk. You feel me?
Yeah.
So more discussions now with people with hot leads.
Right.
Than ever.
Yeah.
Right. There's easy to be in discussions.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be. You can get caught up in discussions.
Right.
But these are discussions that are moving to due diligence, and these are due diligences that are moving to term sheets.
Yeah.
And these are term sheets that are moving to the money in the bank, which is the most important thing. It's really cool, and it's really from relationships that were created at Black Men Talk Tech.
Awesome. And that's the start of the ecosystem that we're trying to create.
Yeah.
Like one where, and you probably got reference to some of the people you're talking to by a person you met at Black Men Talk Tech, right? And yeah, so that's the exact type of impact we're trying to have. And so let's transition to talk now into what you're doing at PEDUL, because
Sure.
I love the pitch you gave, and I've been cutting up all the pitch tape and putting them on YouTube. So you could guys visit that as well, our YouTube website, Black Men Talk Tech. You can see everyone who pitched. And one of the things I remember thinking about when coming across your footage was just like how solid from like diction to planning that you have in terms of the quality of your pitch and how it went down. Is there like, did you take any learnings away now as you're like building a pitch deck? From anything, from any of the feedback you got from Black Men Talk Tech, has it been helpful?
I mean, no cap. I switched up our pitch that day, right, based on the feedback that was given to pitch decks in general by, I think it was William Crowder. He did that entire session on pitching.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make sure that our pitch reflected that. So as he's giving things on stage, I'm like, oh, okay, I bet. Yeah. I was taking notes. And so I guess what I
love about William Crowder is his insistence on not burying the lead, right?
So like all up front.
Put all the hot stuff up front. If it's your founding team, if it's like your customer growth, whatever it is, right? Yeah.
So I made sure to do that, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't need to switch up the slides at all, but I needed to make sure that the words that were coming out matched what would catch the ears quickly.
And the other thing I loved about how you position the company, and you're at New Venture Partners, right?
Yes,
so
MVP gang.
MVP, and I did some time at another accelerator where Tom and team would come through and talk about pitching. Yeah. So your pitch was somewhat familiar in terms of what they do here. But talk about this new blue space, depending on what school you go to, or white space, or this new undefined category of business that you're starting with PEDUL.
Something we wanted to really make sure we were clear about, and I said this on the pitch, you can see it yourself, is that we know we are not an Uber for this or an Airbnb for that, right? We're very clear on that.
Right.
We do know and we believe we're a category defining startup.
Right.
And so what we do here is and I gotta make sure I'm so clear and slow with this, because it can get confusing.
Particularly if it's a new line of business, right?
Totally.
So what is it? Yeah.
So it's a scholarship marketplace.
Okay. What is a scholarship marketplace? Like, is it a search engine? Like,
it is not a search.
Okay.
There are a lot of scholarship search engines out there. You can use any of them.
All right.
Now you come to PEDUL, you can go on and students can apply to multiple scholarships with a single application. And they see and they find out the scholarships that they're eligible for. Now, as marketplaces work, there's 2 sides of it.
2 sides of the marketplace.
I've told you of one. Now, on the other side of the marketplace, it's a place where individuals, organizations, and corporations can easily build and manage scholarships.
So, scholarship marketplace for students, prospective students looking for scholarships clearly, and then individuals, foundations, corporations, enterprises on the other side, they could fund or list their scholarships.
One side the scholarship builder, one side the scholarship receiver.
Oh, excellent.
Not too bad, right?
No, that was good. That's right. I get it. Yeah.
All right. Now, what we do to make this go the next level, we work with corporations on diversity and inclusion.
Right.
Now you're probably thinking, how?
Yes.
Let me tell you. All right, so pretty much what happens is, let's say the NFL.
Okay.
Right? They want to diversify their data analytics department.
The NFL doesn't need a lot of help. Let's go with the company.
Oh, you know what? Let's go with ExxonMobil.
Let's go with NASCAR.
Oh, let's go with NASCAR.
Does NASCAR have diversity?
Hey, they're trying. They're trying.
Do they have a team though?
Oh yeah,
they do.
Oh, NASCAR is pushing for diversity. They're just not succeeding like that.
We'll see. Maybe we should talk to NASCAR. So listen, we need to find someone in diversity at NASCAR. And I think I watched a documentary. There was a gentleman who probably played football in college. Deion Williams. And he's essentially, he's like a pit master, or crew master, something like that at NASCAR. And he has like a diversity program there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that would be interesting. Deion Williams?
Deion Williams.
Yeah, let's look into NASCAR.
So
let's give that example.
So let's talk about NASCAR. Let's say NASCAR wants to diversify their data analytics department.
Okay.
All right. They can't go on to LinkedIn or Indeed or Monster.com and put up a job listing for a Latina woman developer.
Okay.
There are a number of reasons and discrimination purposes why they can't just go and do that.
Yep.
But what they can do, using PEDUL, is create a scholarship for that exact same thing.
That's right.
They can create a scholarship for Latina woman developer.
Yeah.
And they can create a candidate pipeline.
Yes, they can.
Based on the applicants.
Got it.
So if they get 200 individuals that apply to the scholarship, they can then create a candidate pipeline of those 200 individuals. And while they might only actually allocate 5 or 10 scholarships, they're able to engage with the entire pipeline, meaning they can allocate things like training modules,
right,
coaching curriculum,
yep,
mentorship opportunities, things to develop the skill sets of the pipeline,
right,
so that they are ready for the job whenever the time comes.
Excellent. Now, tell me, how successful have you been to your own goals in terms of getting both sets of clients on the platform? So getting the students on the platform and getting the enterprises or foundations or high net worth individuals on the platform?
Yeah, I mean, on the student side, that's been pretty, I don't want to say easy for us, but it's been pretty not that hard, right? We were able to
So acquire, it's a point of success for you.
For sure. Yeah, we were able to acquire over 450,000 students on our wait list before we even launched the platform. So when we launched, it was really about how do we not bring, everyone on there?
I need some help. Are you going to help me with growing my client base?
I got you.
If you got like an intern or two, you got or a growth hacker or two. Yeah. And then what about on the other side? Have you had difficulties growing on the enterprise side or on the scholarship making side? What has that process been like?
That's where our sales process comes into it. Part of our sales process is obviously educating individuals with possibilities, what can work, and then really bringing them on board. Yeah. So something that we learned here at North Venture Partners was really how to create this sales machine. Yeah. And we actually just launched this entire offering, our product now. Yep. Right now it's November, so we launched this 3 months ago. Yeah. So it's been a really successful. We have LOIs from 7 different companies.
Oh, congrats!
Thank you, brother. Yeah. And now it's just about following through. Yeah. Right. Making sure that they're ready to use the platform, and make sure 2020 is a really special year for us.
Very nice. And then we have, would be a need. There's a company out there that has an interest. Who should they get in contact with at PEDUL, or how should they do it? What's the website?
Wonderful. You can go to pedul.com. That's PEDUL.com. You can email me directly, chisa@pedul.com. Yeah. And the people that we're really most interested in talking to when it comes to these corporations, anyone that's in recruiting, HR, talent acquisition, diversity and inclusion, or any C-suites that are in the company as well, right? Right. We'd love to chat. At the very least, we'd love to get your opinion on what we're doing. Yeah.
Aside of that, what would you say to other Black technologists, Black entrepreneurs that are looking and thinking about coming to Black Men Talk Tech? What would you say to them, to put them over the edge?
Come through. Miami's wonderful.
Yeah.
But obviously, you are going to leave with something greater. Right. And there are not many places in America where you can get that collection of Black men in one room
Right.
all discussing how to just get ahead.
Yep.
And not just discussing, but making these steps and the actions to get ahead. So I say come through, it's a great time.